we just say the quiet part out loud for a second? Common sense feels like it's gone out of style. It used to be the baseline to be a decent human being with a modicum of common sense, but now it's like some sort of superpower reserved for the few. And if you have it, you are probably feeling low-key exhausted by the state of, well, all the things. The world is probably really annoying to you at times. So here are 11 things that instantly annoy people with actual common sense. And if you find yourself getting irrationally irritated by these, congrats. You probably still have some functioning brain cells left. 1. Willful ignorance. I'm not talking about not knowing something. That's fine because we're all learning and there are things we're just not gonna know. Totally fine. Normal. Okay. What I'm talking about here are the people who refuse to learn. These are the people who get uncomfortable when facts challenge their worldview and just seem to shut down. That I don't want to know energy. It's exhausting. There are many common behaviors that can make someone look uneducated, and when someone refuses to learn, it can feel like hitting a wall in any type of conversation with them. They just want to avoid cognitive dissonance and live in their little conflict-free bubble. You can't reason with someone who's made a lifestyle out of ignoring reality. 2. Constant drama. You know this person. Every day is a crisis for them. Every text is a novel. Somehow, they're always the victim of some outrageous betrayal, again and again and again. This is annoying to people with common sense because the drama-addicted person will spill others' secrets to start drama as a way of making themselves look better in other people's eyes. It's all one big distraction from their own insecurities. But if you've got common sense, you won't get caught up in attention-seeking behavior. You're just trying to get through the day, and you find it all so exhausting. You crave stability and respect in your relationships, so you're not about any of this drama nonsense. 3. Entitlement. Listen, just because you want something doesn't mean you deserve it, but try explaining that to someone who was raised being taught that the rules do not apply to them. They learned they were special as children, which means they grew up taking advantage of others without a second thought. Entitlement looks like expecting praise for the bare minimum, or cutting the line because they're in a hurry. They will do whatever it takes to get what they want, and others have to walk on eggshells around them to avoid offending them. Common sense people value fairness, humility, and mutual respect, and they understand shared responsibility. They don't have the patience to babysit grown adults. 4. Overcomplicating simple things. So should we meet at 2 p.m. or 3 p.m.? Suddenly, it's a 17 email thread. Seriously, just pick 2 p.m. or pick 3 p.m. or offer an alternative. It's really not that hard. Some people can take the simplest task and wrap it up in red tape. They end up overthinking every possible outcome and end up with what's called analysis paralysis, or the inability to decide. They will obsess over unlikely scenarios, which stops progress and exhausts everyone around them. People with common sense, they just want to make a plan and move on. No charts, no crisis, no text thread that lasts for 3 days. Just pick something and go. 5. Conspiracy theories. Yeah, we're going there. Get out your tinfoil hats! I wish I had one. Put it on my head. I'm sorry, but if your research consists of one guy on TikTok or YouTube with a ring light and a microphone, it's not research, it's fan fiction. Rejecting establishment rules in favor of sensational claims that lack credible sources creates circular logic. When confronted with contradicting evidence, these people just claim it's all part of some cover-up. They fear uncertainty so much that it haunts them at night. This not knowing what's going to happen. They crave being the one, the chosen one who knows all the secrets, even if those secrets are not true. People with common sense, they want actual facts, not secret knowledge from some random video rabbit hole. You can't debate someone whose defense is always, well, that's what they want you to think. Please, girl, who is they? 6. Perpetual victimhood. We all go through hard stuff because that's life, and this isn't meant to diminish actual victims. But some folks never stop being the victim, even when the storm passed years, decades ago. Everything is someone else's fault. No reflection, no growth, just blame. Meanwhile, people with common sense are out here taking accountability, figuring out how to solve problems, and moving forward. You can't help someone who won't stop narrating their own tragedy. 7. Any lack of accountability. Closely related to perpetual victimhood, there are people who won't ever take accountability for anything. These are the people who say, "Well, I didn't mean it that way," when they hurt someone, and then act like that's the end of the conversation. They turn small problems into large problems, and they can drag down people with common sense when they start gaslighting or projecting onto them. Mistakes happen. Grown-ups, own them. Common sense says, if you broke it, try fixing it. Learn from your mistakes and embrace growth. It's one of the great privileges of life. If you refuse to even see that there might be an issue, we're done here. 8. Blind loyalty to terrible ideas. Just because you've always believed it doesn't mean it's right. People will defend the worst ideas, the worst people, and the dumbest decisions just because they're familiar. And if you question it, suddenly you're the disloyal one. People who are fiercely loyal to even the worst ideas are refusing growth. Again, it doesn't matter how much evidence or logic they're presented with. Their allegiance is to something emotional rather than rational, and they cannot be convinced otherwise. Common sense people want truth, not tribal loyalty to nonsense. You can keep your groupthink. Thanks, I don't want any of that. 9. Performative outrage. If you're only mad when Twitter is mad, babes, you're not actually mad. You're just looking for attention rather than trying to make the world a better place. Common sense folks can spot fake outrage from a mile away. These are the people who scream online about causes they didn't even care about 5 minutes ago, but they want to feel relevant so bad. They are fueled by their emotions rather than their logical sense. Real, actual change doesn't come from just yelling louder than everyone else. It comes from thinking clearly and doing the work, which is harder than just being outraged online. 10. Making everything into a competition. People with common sense value cooperation and mutual respect in their relationships with others. But for those without common sense, everything is a contest. You say, "Yeah, I didn't sleep well last night," and suddenly they're like, "Oh, I haven't slept well since 2017. Interactions could have been a moment of connection, but instead they turn it into a battle for superiority. Instead of enjoying shared experiences like a normal person, everything becomes a point to be won. It's so exhausting. People with common sense want connection, not a scoreboard. If everything's a one-up game, nobody wins. 11. Refusal to use critical thinking skills. Look, you don't need a PhD to think things through. You just need to bring curiosity and a willingness to ask questions. You've got to zoom out, the 30,000-foot view, if you will, connect the dots, and consider other perspectives. But some folks, they want to be told what to think, as long as it doesn't make them uncomfortable. Many will say that we weren't taught to think critically as children, and that explains why so many adults don't have this skill. But if you have basic common sense, you can learn to think deeply. It's not out of the realm of possibility for you. But trying to reason with someone unwilling to exercise critical thinking skills is super exhausting, just like all these other points, as you want discussions that will make you think more broadly, while they are happy to keep things all nice and tidy in their little box and on the surface. Sometimes it's just easier for those with common sense to avoid people who refuse to think critically altogether. Look, yes, we all get a little annoyed sometimes, but when you've got common sense in a world that seems allergic to it, that annoyance is part of your daily life. There's no escaping it. Which one of these things drives you the most nuts, and what would you add to the list? Hit like, subscribe, and maybe send this video to your friend who swears deodorant is a secret government plot. See you next time.